Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jared King again with another episode of King for a Day. And just to give you a quick catch up on what I've been doing, I've had a very low energy day today. Some personal stuff going on, but at the same time, I still made sure that I took my advice that I had given to everyone a couple videos ago with just trying to get at least 5 minutes out of work. And I've done more than that. One of the things that I find out is that when you give yourself just a little bit of time and a little bit of focus on what you're trying to do, you end up doing a bit more than you expected because you're so into it. If it has to be something that you're passionate about, but even if it's something, for work or school or something, you can still kind of sit down and get some things done and out of the way if you just give yourself a little bit of time. But I've been editing a lot today, and just recently I tried to go back after having done some this morning, and I found that I just could not get in the right headspace. Um, so I'm glad that I was able to get some of it out of the way, but I'm not going to beat myself up that I wasn't able to continue. Um, I can't really reveal. I'm like getting towards the middle of the book, so I can't really reveal what's going on in the book right now. But just letting y'all know that it is still going, and I'm not going to stop until it's done. I just put up a another episode on my podcast. If you watch this series, you don't necessarily have to listen to that today because I just basically put up my King for a Day. I just kind of put up an old episode of King for a Day on my podcast today before I move into new episodes of Uncommuted tomorrow. But in that episode, I went back to when I started the first draft of this book that I'm currently working on. And it was interesting because at the end of the video, I had mentioned how, I hope that I'm not sorry that I started writing again or something like that. And it was a time where I was going through, uh, I had just tried to write one book, didn't really work out. I wasn't really feeling it towards the end. And then this one, I feel like I kind of had some idea of what I wanted to do, but I was just very hesitant and kind of doubting myself about whether this writing thing was really what I was all about. Uh, Now, I'm not sure if I had posted this on King for a Day, but I know that at one point I was really um, upset. I had to just trudge through finishing this book, and by the end of it, I just was not feeling it anymore. And I took some advice online from people saying, just put it away and just let it rest. And then I let a friend read the very, very bad alpha version of the book. And after getting some positive feedback from that read and coming back to it with fresh eyes, I am now feeling a lot better about what I'm trying to do uh, with this book. So I'm feeling positive. But back then, I'm even remembering now. I had tried to write a prequel to Pangea, and that was another thing. It was like I felt really good about it in the beginning, but then towards the end, and I just kind of lost steam, and I'm like, I don't really know if I'm feeling this, and so it just kind of stopped. And I tried writing another book before that, and same thing. I started off, but it ended a lot earlier. I was like, okay, this is not going well. So I've gotten I had to overcome a lot of stops, um, and there was a lot of pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself because I had that first book out and I wanted to get something out immediately afterwards. Put a lot of pressure on myself to produce something else. But, you can't rush creativity all the time. I mean, you have to be speedy, but you can't put out crappy work and crappy stories. So, that's, I guess, part of the balancing act and part of something that I had to learn. And I even put out a blog post saying, I put out Pangea a little too early. Um, and that was, and I think that I said that because, you know, I didn't have anything to follow that up once I released the book. And then, you have readers who are interested in the stories and interested in the characters and want to see where it goes. But, it just wasn't planned out. And I wish I had known, I wish I had all of the info laid out for me. Despite all of the information and learning and, downloading and reading and listening and watching all of the stuff that goes into being a self-published author prior to publishing my book, that just didn't come to my awareness. And there are a couple of things that I wish I'd done differently with the release of my first book, but you can't go back. And now I have an idea of what I want to do, and I'm looking forward to smoothing some of that out and kind of getting a well-oiled machine as far as my business as an author goes. So I have hope, and I'm keeping a positive outlook. And I just thank you all for going with me on the journey. So that's really all I have for today. As I said, it was a low energy day, so it took me a lot to even set up this phone and record this video. But, I'm trying to remain dedicated to the whole process and to all of my social media creation and marketing surrounding this book and my brand and all that. So, I'm trying. But I will talk to y'all later, hopefully tomorrow. I know I didn't post one yesterday, but I'm going to try and keep this up daily. But we'll see. I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.